Hello, hello, and good evening. Welcome inside Hastings Stadium here in Guelph. This is Guelph Royals Baseball here on CBL TV and on YouTube. Mark Perry here in the broadcast booth as the Barrie Baycats are in town to take on the Guelph Royals. Let's take a look at the matchup between these two teams. Second of 6 meetings this season between the two squads. And there you have it, Guelph winning 7-2 back on June 7th in Barrie, as these two teams, well, they're a bit of a different story between the two of them. Obviously, Barrie, they have been in the upper echelon of the CBL all season long. Guelph starting off 0-5, but since then they have been red hot. Winners of 2 straight games. They have won, well, there you can calculate it right now, 10 wins in their last 12 games. It has been a committee effort by the Guelph Royals, to say the very least. Big pickups, notable additions. Anthony Gilbert has been on fire, has been one of the best batters in the league. The pitching is starting to pick up. The Barrie Baycats, meantime, losers of just 1 straight game, but I mean, they've been good, to say the very least. They have been very good this season, as there you see it evidenced by the batting average, 325 average, as Sam O'Coin is doing the producing for tonight. And Sam is obviously usually a member of the Barrie Baycats, but helping us out here tonight, as we're going to take a look now at the starting lineup for the Guelph Royals. And they're a little bit different. They had Garrett Takamatsu in the leadoff spot on Tuesday in that come-from-behind victory. And you look at it right now, Ryan DeSantos goes back up into that usual spot. Anthony Gilbert, I mentioned him. He's red hot. He plays out at shortstop. Connor Morrow, Victor Mescai, Miguel Geraldo, Davis Nadal, Matthew Ward, Carson Burns, Ashton Patterson. There you have it, 1 through 9 for the Guelph Royals. So let's take that off the screen and take a look now at the Barrie lineup by comparison. Kenise Ejo leading things off, followed by Edgar Figueroa, Francisco Hernandez, Nolan Macabroda, Adam Odd. Carson Barker comes in as the DH tonight. Noah Hull, Wandy Cyprian, and Brandon Hernandez rounding out 1 through 9. The umpires are on the field right now. We are getting set for first pitch in just a few moments. We're going to send it to a commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. This is Royals Television. Barrie and Guelph about to start in a few minutes.
Get ready, Chatham Cats. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent, all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham Cats, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
All right, we are ready for some baseball as Edgar Garcia will get the start here for the Guelph Royals. And Edgar coming in with a 1-1 record, that 10.67 ERA. You'd like to see that go down, but again, when you start to see these ERAs inflated, usually it's that one off start. And for Edgar Garcia, making his 5th appearance of the season, that off start came against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, where he gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned in 3 innings of work back on June 16th. That really inflated his ERA. More so against the Jackfish on the 21st in Welland, where he only went 2 innings. Goes, again, 2 innings, gives up the 4 hits, gives up 5 runs, 4 of them earned. So looking to try to put together a strong start here today. Had a strong start previous to those 2 back on June 3rd. Of course, that's almost a month ago. So Edgar Garcia falling into a bit of a lull here, but we shall see what he is able to do here tonight. As Kenise Ijo will lead things off for the Barrie Baycats as we are getting set for some baseball. And Kenise Ijo, the league leader in home runs at 8. It's a pitcher-friendly ballpark here, so we'll have to see if he can hit one over the fence. It's not impossible, but we are getting set for first pitch, and Edgar Garcia delivers, and that one's going to be sent foul. And we are underway at 7:06. That one misses the strike zone, so evens the count at 1-1. The delivery, swing and a miss for strike 2. As Garcia gets ahead of the count here on Kenise Ijo, who's coming in with a 368 average. He's been tearing the skin off the baseball, and there is strike 3. A swinging strikeout for Edgar Garcia. He gets Ijo to swing through it for out number 1. Let's take a look quickly at the defense for the Guelph Royals playing in behind Edgar Garcia. There you see DeSantos, Patterson, Nadal playing from left to right. Burns, Gilbert, Geraldo, Mascai in the infield, and Matthew Ward in behind home plate in his usual position. And here is Edgar Figueroa. Chopper right through the hole, and that's going to get in for a base hit. First pitch gets right in on it, and it's just that hard chopper off the mound. And Francisco Hernandez will come up here, the second baseman. In his second season with the Baycats. Taking the lead there is Figueroa. That's going to be inside for ball 1. Francisco will put that one high. It's going into center field, and getting underneath it is Ashton Patterson. A much needed fly out there. And Ashton Patterson playing in center field. And you like that range, because Ashton Patterson, you're used to seeing him playing left field, right field. You like to see him in that center position just because he's got that experience now. Yes, he is still the youngest member of this team, despite the fact that he is, in his 5th year with the Royals. Just 21 years of age. Here's Nolan Macabrota. The runner's going to go. There's a swing and a miss. Throw into second, and that's not going to get there in time. Going over to third is Figueroa, and he'll get in there standing up. So first to third gets the stolen base. And actually, that was a strike. So Macabrota, after all that, down in the count 0-1, but now he's got a runner 90 feet away. That'll be chopped back. Macabrota, just hits in one of his last 4 games, really just trying to get a handle of getting those hits going again. He has had some hit streaks. He will have multi-hit games, as that one's going to be blocked by Ward. Puts the count at 1-2. That's going to go inside for ball number 2. It's Garcia just working the full quadrants of the plate here. Gets set, the 2-2 chopper, and that's going to be fouled off, and Macabrota stays alive. The one game Macabrota has had a hit in his last 4, that came in that June 21st matchup in Kitchener, and I'm pretty sure everybody on the Baycats had a hit in that game. It was not a fun night if you were a Kitchener Panthers fan, I'll tell you that much. 18-7 the final, Barrie winning that contest. A number of home runs. The 2-2, that's going to be sent down the line, and it's going to be a long foul ball. But Macabrota, he's got that experience, was part of that 2024 championship team. Was an all-star last year, named to the All-CBL team last year as well. Was part of the home run derby in Hamilton. Garcia deals the 2-2, and that's going to be sent into left field all the way back, and that's going to go to the wall. Macabrota is going to get into second base standing up. Call that an RBI double for big number 20, and the Baycats have taken a 1-0 lead. Just squares up to the baseball. And Macabrota, doesn't take too long. A big 6'4" Saskatchewan boy. As he squared up to the ball very nicely, and Garcia just kind of put it into that bad position, and Macabrota timed it perfectly. It's a big hole in left field, as DeSantos is more in left center than left field. That's going to miss off the plate for ball 1 here on Adam Odd. Rookie of the Year back in 2015. Back when he was with the Burlington Bandits. The 1-0 is going to be blocked. So 2 balls and no strikes here on Odd. Former Bandit, former Toronto Maple Leaf. Came to the Baycats in 2022. Played just 15 games for the Baycats last season. Hit .262, hitting .354 through 12 games so far this season. The 2-0, way inside. Umpires for today's game. Didn't get the names of the first and third base umpire, but Chris Marco is the home plate umpire here tonight. The 3-0. That's going to miss downstairs. And that's a 4-pitch walk to Adam Odd. Yeah, a bit short-staffed here tonight in Guelph on a Saturday night. Public address announcer is filling in. Obviously, Sam doing a great job here filling in as the producer for tonight. I don't have a broadcast partner tonight. So all that to say that if you do want to help out and get involved in the broadcast world here with the Guelph Royals organization, flip us a note. We would love to have you. As that's going to go across for a strike for Carson Barker. I can tell you, broadcasts like this can get your foot in the door to a whole lot of opportunities. That's what it did for me in this area. The 0-1. Right on over to the second baseman. Throw to first in time, and that'll record the out. The 4-3 put out for Carson Barker. 18 pitches needed for Edgar Garcia to get through one. The Baycats with a 1-0 lead. Let's throw it a break.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
Welcome back to Guelph Royals TV. Is Juan Benitez will get the start here for the Barrie Baycats. The big 6'6", 210-pounder out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Last made his start back on the 18th of June at home against Toronto. Recorded his first win of the season in that contest. 6 innings of work. Gave up 2 runs, one of them earned, just 2 hits, and just 2 strikeouts as well. So the defense had a lot of work in that game. The 0-1 fouled back. So here's Ryan DeSantos. As mentioned, Garrett Takamatsu was the leadoff man, as there is Ryan Eakin, who popped into the screen. Yes, the assistant general manager of the Guelph Royals, Ryan Eakin, as that one is going to miss downstairs for ball number 1. Ryan Eakin is actually the ball boy and the bat boy for tonight for the Guelph Royals. And if they don't make him run 5 miles in this entire game, they did it wrong. The 1-2 is going to miss downstairs. Santos, of course, missed the game on Tuesday. Broke a notable Ironman streak that lasted a couple of seasons, in fact. Played 42 games in each of the last 2 seasons with Toronto. Obviously broke the walk record with the Leafs last season as that one sent high and down, and that'll be caught on the run by Edgar Figueroa in right field. As Anthony Gilbert will come up here now. When you talk about guys that have made an impact, this is the 10th game of the year for Gilbert, as there you see Eakin just running through. It should be noted, Ryan used to work for the Barrie Baycats organization, as that's a chopper. Grabbed there on the run by Brandon Hernandez, but thrown offline. And Gilbert will get on base. It was going to be a tough play at first. I'd imagine that'll be called a single. As Gilbert will get on. And he's just been getting on base with such regularity. After his CBL debut back on June 6th against London, he has gotten a hit in every single game he has played in. So 8-game hitting streak on the line. As Connor Morrow will come up to the dish. Former Baycat in his own right. The 0-1, that's going to miss downstairs. Was part of that run of 6 championships. Was with the team in 2016, 17, and 19. Before coming over to the Royals in 2022, where he has stayed ever since. Peel over to first, and no signal. It is going to be ball 2. So Gilbert will get credited with the single. The 2-1. Right across for a strike. So you can see Morrow in that crouch position. Tried to shorten the strike zone a little bit as he was trying to eye down that baseball. Just didn't get the call that time. Puts the count at 2-2. Benitez gets the sign. Cyprian eyed that one down, right on over for 1, over for 2, and he got him. The 5-4-3 inning ending double play as the Baycats face the minimum in the first inning. Let's take a look at some commercials. We got to pay some bills. We'll be back on the other side. Barrie up 1-0.
Yeah, what do you recommend?
I love this color right here.
So I'm gonna do like a navy and red lace.
I like to be subtly flashy.
My first glove was the Rawlins glove. This right here is kind of my baby. Took a year for her to break in. Rawlins guys hooked me up with this color. It was a new color that came out, and I was like, let me get it.
I always play with a Rawlins glove. That's all I know. It was branded in my brain to play with that.
I just fell in love that it was brand new, and when you get a pro glove, you don't have to put it in the microwave, you don't have to run it over with your car. All you gotta do is use it.
If I missed the ball with this glove, it went in the microwave. That was his punishment.
He's blaming the arrow and not the Indian.
Welcome back inside Hastings Stadium as we get set for the second inning of play. The Baycats with a 1-0 lead courtesy of an RBI double from Nolan Macabrota in the first. Bottom of the order due up for the Baycats, starting off with the left fielder Noah Hull. That's going to miss downstairs for ball number 1. As that'll be pitch number 20 on the ledger on the day. 19 pitches needed. You'd like to see that one get down a little bit lower. That's going to go across for a strike. Hull part of that 20. Oh, no. Oh, no. The 1-2, there's a swing and a miss for strike 3 as Noah Hull is retired. So here is Wandy Cyprian. Apologize for a slight connection issue that we had. Looks like we're all ready to go. Cyprian, the catcher. 396 on base percentage, as that one's going to go downstairs. The 1-1's going to miss on the outside. 2-1 count here now. Cyprian down the line. That's going to get right on over the glove of the third baseman, Carson Burns, and that is a hot shot base hit. As Cyprian increases his average, sitting at 380 coming into today. He's on a 3-game hitting streak. Make that 4 in a row. Cyprian runners are on the corners. And that'll bring up Kenise Ejo. Back to the top of the order. And Barrie in a really good position here. That'll go in for a strike. That'll be chopped in behind. Foul. Ejo striking out, swinging back in the first. Ejo, part of that 2024 championship. The runner's going to go, and Ward looks off Cyprian, and I mean stares a hole into him to make sure he doesn't come home, as Brandon Hernandez will advance to second base. And he was already off, so you can credit that as a stolen bag. And that'll put runners on second and third. Good piece of base running there by Hernandez, recognizing the situation. He was off anyway, and Ward just could not handle it. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Strike three. He got him. Third strikeout of the ball game. And that'll bring up Edgar Figueroa. Figueroa singling back in the first. Former Pittsburgh Pirate. Part of the Pirates organization for 3 seasons. Won 2 MVP awards in the Dominican Summer League. Just a lot of accolades, and he's played everywhere, folks. As that one's going to get right on over to second base. Geraldo over to first in time. And that will do it. Pair of runners stranded. And we are heading to the bottom of the second as the Barrie Baycats have a 1-0 lead on Guelph. Victor Mascai getting set to bat here for the Guelph Royals, as the Royals will send Mascai, Geraldo, and Nadal to the plate here to take on Juan Benitez. Who was efficient. Very efficient. Just 10 pitches needed to get through the first and got a double play to finish it off. That one is going to be sent into left field. Base hit for Victor Mascai as he turns on the first pitch he sees. Number 15, Miguel Geraldo. And that'll bring up Miguel Geraldo. Former Blue Jay farmhand, hitting .403 in 15 games this year. 27 hits already. Sends that one into the seats and out of play. And 27 hits as he is within the top 10 of the CBL. In fact, he is 10th, tied for 9th, in fact. That one sent high and deep into left center, all the way back. Ejo's got a beat on it, and he'll make the catch in front of the left center fence. As Geraldo got underneath that baseball in a hurry. And that'll set things up for Davis Nadal. As the 33-year-old with just the one out. That'll miss for ball one. Nadal with hits in 6 of his last 7. Was 2 for 4 in Kitchener just on Thursday night. That one's crushed high. It's got some distance. Ejo is tracking it right in front of the fence, and he'll make the catch yet again. A pair of long fly outs where if we're in certain other ballparks, both of those balls are probably over the fence. And that is the dimensions of Hastings Stadium. And let's get a look once again on the field as Eakin just decides to go the other way. We're going to have so much fun with this tonight. That's going to miss inside for ball one here on Matthew Ward. Ward hits in 3 straight ball games. Had a couple of RBI on Thursday night. As that one's right into the glove of Adam Odd. And that'll do it. A hot shot to the third baseman. No mistake for Odd. Tracks it down, and just 5 pitches needed for Juan Benitez. 15 pitches through 2 innings of work. We'll be back on the other side with the third inning here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph.
Get ready, Chatham Cats. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent, all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham Cats, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
To the third inning we go here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Glad to have you with us here on a Saturday night. I'd say under the lights, but we got nothing but sunshine. Not even a cloud to be seen. Beautiful weather here. Perfect baseball conditions. Quick check around the scoreboard in the CBL. Only one other game happening. Kitchener up on Welland 1-0 in the top half of the 5th. Dropping the bunt down is Hernandez, and getting on over to first in time and just blocking the base path was Maskai. And there was no chance there for Hernandez, who dropped the bunt down. And instead of going to the base for the force out, he tags him out. And Francisco Hernandez and Chris Marco having a conversation here, as Juan Benitez just pulls Hernandez into the dugout. I don't think he liked the interaction at first base too much. I don't know if it was just the bat, because the fact of the matter is when you have to have your starting pitcher come off the bench to pull you back into the dugout, I think it's more than just, hey, get your equipment off the field. Anyway, here's Nolan McAbrota. There's a swing and a miss for strike one. And just a quick update, Kitchener now up 3-0 on Welland. Gloved there, snow coned by Garcia over to first in time. Edgar Garcia took that one on a hop and had that one trapped. Good piece of glove work there by the starting pitcher for the Guelph Royals. And that'll bring up Adam Ott, who walked in the first inning. Garcia gets the sign here from Ward. Chopper down the line, but that's going to go foul. Right past Noel McGarry Doyle, who is the first base coach for tonight for the Baycats. Can't miss that number 95 anywhere. Whether he's playing in the outfield or just standing there in the first base coach position. Garcia gets the sign yet again. Ward puts the glove near the knees. There's a swing and a miss. Good tactic there by Ward as he was set up in a crouch position as if that ball was going to go low, and that went anywhere but low. As Odd swings underneath the baseball that went pretty much at chest level. The 0-1, swing and a miss. So that's strike three. A 1-2-3 inning for Edgar Garcia. And we're to the home half of the third here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Barrie with a 1-0 lead. Welcome back. Carson Burns, Ashton Patterson, Ryan DeSantos due up for the Guelph Royals. As they will take on Juan Benitez again. 2 innings of work, 15 pitches overall. Burns just into his 5th game of the season. There's a swing and a miss for strike one. Again, Burns getting the start over at third base. Usually you see Davis Nadal occupying that third base spot. That's going to miss for ball one. But Nadal gets the start in the outfield. A little bit short in the outfield for the Royals tonight. The 1-1 is going to miss way inside. They do have outfielders that are available off the bench, notably Andy Leader is available. J.D. Williams also on the roster tonight on the bench. The 2-1 is going to go in for a strike. But you can't leave a guy like Carson Burns just sitting there game in and game out. You do have to give him some hacks. The 2-2 chopper. Hernandez on over to first in time as Francisco will retire Burns on the 4-3. And there he is. There he is. Ryan Eakin making a guest appearance. And what is he wearing? Those are work boots that he's wearing. So he's not even wearing regulation cleats. My goodness, sir. There's a swing and a miss for strike one on Ashton Patterson. He must have really messed up if this is some sort of punishment that he has to be the bat boy for tonight. The 0-1. Chopper down the line, foul. How do you run in those things is my question. And are those steel toes? Shout out Mark's Work Warehouse where he probably got those. The 0-2 way inside. Puts the count at 1-2. And Ashton Patterson, well, you talk about putting your work boots on. Ashton Patterson has been doing just that all season long, hitting .293, up from just a 115 average a season ago. The 1-2 popped up. Into the outfield it goes, into the Bermuda Triangle, but over to get it is Kinesi Joe. So back to the top of the order we go. And yeah, those are definitely work boots. I'm pretty sure I have those in the trunk of my car if I need steel toes. Because you never know when you need them. Way back in the day when I was working for Rogers, back in the pandemic days, I know we don't like to think about that as there is a pitch that's going to go down low for ball one. And, you know, the Jays Care Foundation, obviously, they do a lot of great work. And during the pandemic, they were putting some baskets together, you know, food items and whatnot, putting it all together for those that need it most. A very good initiative as there's a chopper down the line, foul. And I didn't have a pair of steel toes. I was working for Rogers at the time, and they said, hey, you know, we're doing this massive thing for a few weeks at Rogers Center. It basically became a central place where everybody can gather and put these baskets together. And everybody had a shift to do, so I made my way over to Rogers Center in Toronto. And I didn't have steel toes. So I went, and I'm pretty sure I bought those very same ones, and I used them for the day. The 2-1. Right on the outside edge for a strike. The 2-2 is going to miss on the outside edge. Count full here on DeSantos. He swings through that one just over top the baseball for strike number 3, and that is the first strikeout of the ball game for Juan Benitez. We're through 3 here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. The Barrie Baycats with a 1-0 lead. All right, welcome back. Fourth inning. This game is, knock on wood, buzzing by here in Guelph. The Royals trailing by a score of 1-0 here on Barrie. That run was scored back in the first inning. Barker, Hull, Cyprian due up here for the Baycats. And the first pitch seen by Barker is fouled off. First season here in the CBL, Carson Barker. That's going to miss downstairs. The Alliston, Ontario native, played 2024 back in the California Winter League. Played at Genesee Community College in New York State, Lourdes University. Finished off his collegiate career in our nation's capital in Ottawa. Played with the Gee-Gees. A very late birthday, too, December 28th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw over to first to complete it. And that's 5 Ks for Edgar Garcia. And that'll bring up Noah Hull. As Edgar Garcia, and coming into tonight's game at 13 strikeouts, had 7 against the Leafs back on June 3rd. That, again, in terms of length, his best start, but when it comes to the production of the opposition, not so much. Gave up 12 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned in that game. He's looking well here so far. That's sent into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit, as Noah Hull is 1 for 2, thinking about going to second base, and he's just going to hold off. So here is Wandy Cyprian. 1 for 1, a single. The Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic native. He's gotten the lion's share of the starts here for the Baycats this season. As there is strike 1. 40th pitch for Edgar Garcia. The delivery down the line, foul. And it'll chop right into the dugout. Be remiss if I didn't mention this is the first home game since the announcement that came out Wednesday morning, the ownership change for the Guelph Royals. GuelphRoyals.com has all the details on that. GuelphToday.com doing a pretty bang-up job as well. The 0-2 upstairs. Maybe that's a little bit of a self-serving comment, but, you know, got to talk with John McKay, one of the new stakeholders with the team. Sean Fuller still part of the team, but has less of a stake than he used to. Trying to frame that one up was Ward, but just off the plate, not by much. Well, Sean Fuller now with a 20% stake in the team. The other 8 owners sharing in the 80%. Another foul ball here as Cyprian trying to raise this pitch count here on Edgar Garcia. You know, it's the mark of a new era here for the Guelph Royals. What is Donnie Fell doing giving the baseballs to the umpire? That should be Eakin's job. Guess maybe he got out of breath. You got to pace yourself sometimes. The 2-2, chopper. And that's going to go off the glove of Burns and into left field. As Cyprian will get into first base safely. That'll be a single. As that's just a hot shot that Burns was just not able to handle. He had to dive over even as well. He made a great effort to go get to it, but nonetheless, with one away and two on base, here's Brandon Hernandez. Singled and stole a bag back in the second inning. To the 6, over to first, in time, a 6-3 inning ending double play. The Royals get out of a jam. To the bottom of the fourth we go. The Guelph Royals trailing 1-0. Juan Benitez still on the hill here for the Barrie Baycats. His first strikeout of the game finished off the last inning. But he's got to deal with the heart of the order here for the Guelph Royals. We're trying to catch up, down 1-0. Gilbert, Morrow, Mascai here for the Royals. Delivery, that one's going to get through the hole. Base hit as Gilbert is 2 for 2. And here's the notable thing about this hitting streak that Gilbert has been on. As I mentioned before, went 0 for in his debut, went on a hitting streak that continues. If you take away the 1 for against Kitchener on Thursday and include tonight, he's got multi-hit games in every single game that he has played in here for the Guelph Royals. He has been fantastic. A great sample size, too. 43 at-bats coming into tonight. 19 hits. Couple of homers as well. Just a 12 RBI, but 6 of them coming in that one game against Hamilton back on June 19th. The bunt down the line, but it skips on Connor Morrow and drops foul. Well, Donnie Fell is over at first base in his usual position, coaching Dino Ramel down the third base line for the Royals. So that means Ryan Eakin's going to get a couple of extra steps in here. Morrow, part of a 5-4-3 inning ending double play back in the first. Morrow, very similar to Carson Burns, where he hasn't had too many hacks in the batter's box this season, just his 5th appearance all season. That's going to paint the inside edge for a strike. But in that sample size, he's been doing very well for himself, hitting .444. Made his season debut back on May 16th. And it's been just spot starts here and there. Here's the 2-2. Way inside. Played on June 2nd here at home against Hamilton. The other 3 games he's played in have been on the road. June 10th in Toronto, June 19th against Hamilton. That was his last appearance. He went 0 for 5 in that game and struck out 3 different times. The 3-2, skied high, in behind, and that's going to go off the grandstand. And it'll roll in behind. Top 7 in Welland. It's 3-1 Kitchener as Welland has gotten onto the scoreboard. Again, here remains 1-0. Runner on base, the 3-2. And that'll be fouled back. Connor Morrow extends the at-bat. Pitch number 7 incoming. The delivery, swing and a miss for strike 3. Benitez putting a little bit of extra pepper underneath that one to retire Connor Morrow. That seemed like an angry pitch from Juan Benitez, just the frustration of not being able to retire Connor Morrow. And just says, you know what, let's just throw a fastball here, and blows it by him. Holding off there was Muskai for ball number 1. In good conditions for baseball, and has brought the fans out here as there's a big swing and a miss. Muskai, that ball was going way inside and swung right underneath it for strike number 1. It's the tradition here at Hastings Stadium. You get the lawn chairs out down the outfield lines and make your own seats. Here at the grandstands are filled. Got some Baycats fans in attendance as well. The 2-1, that's going to be sent into center field. Base hit for Muskai. He's 2 for 2. And it's not for a lack of trying, but the Royals have gotten guys on base in 3 of the 4 innings so far. And now with a couple of runners and one in scoring position at least. So bring up Miguel Geraldo. Sent a long fly ball into center field his last time up. That misses inside. As mentioned, Geraldo, part of the Toronto Blue Jays organization for many years, reached AAA Buffalo in 2024. Has provided some punch for this Royals team, hitting .403 on the year. Holding off there. Good eye by Geraldo. He is up in the count 2-0. Went 2 for 4 against Kitchener on Thursday. Hit a double in that game. Had a pair of doubles here at home against Brantford earlier on in the week. That'll be strike 1 as he fouls that one back. You have to go back to that Tuesday game. I mean, folks, that was a barn burner. Royals end up coming back in that one. Win it in 10 innings, 5-4. The 2-1 down the line, foul. Royals needed to add 2 runs on the board in the 8th on Tuesday night just to get to extras. As Brantford had the 4-2 lead, and I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Brantford Red Sox and just the role that they have been on. I mean, last night, a high-scoring affair, winning against Chatham-Kent. Of course, a recent win over the Welland Jackfish doesn't hurt matters either. The 2-2, and he gets just a piece of it to stay alive. You know, they beat Barrie, and I don't know, there's something in the water in the Telephone City right now, folks. It's not the team that they used to be. And Guelph will go into Brantford tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. The 2-2. That misses off the plate for ball 3. Pitch count starting to get up there for Benitez. As we talked about, 15 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. He's now up to 47, 48 upcoming here. Muskai on first, Gilbert on second. That one sent into left field. And that is going to load the bases. Back-to-back singles here for the Royals. And Davis Nadal just 1 out. And the tying run just 90 feet away. Nadal's last at bat, he also put one deep into center field. He does that again. This game is going to be tied. And take nothing away from the arm of Kenise Ijo, who can throw a dart from center field. As there is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Nadal does have a grand slam on his ledger this season. I believe that came in London very early on, first couple of weeks of the year. That misses on the outside. Benitez gets the sign. Here comes the 1-1. Misses on the outside. Nadal hitting .273 on the year, went 2 for 4 in Kitchener on Thursday. 2 homers on the ledger this season. The 2-1. Jobber down the line. That's going to go right into the Baycats dugout as Josh Matlow comes out to retrieve that baseball. Yeah, the grand slam was his first CBL home run. That was on May 31st in London. And then he had another one in Hamilton on June 19th. The fans in full throat here at Hastings. The 2-2. Chopper down the line. That one's going to go off the glove. Over to first and not in time. This game is tied. Nolan Macabroda loses the glove. Can't get over to first base in time. And Davis Nadal reaches safely. And that's just one of those plays for Macabroda where he tries to glove it down, loses his balance, loses the glove at the same time. And even with a big frame like his at 6'4", stretches out to try to tag him, was unable to do so, as there's strike 1. And being told that that is going to be credited as a base hit for Nadal. Ward sends that one foul. Right near, dangerously near our first base camera. But it looks like we're all right. Nadal on first, Geraldo on second, Mascai on third. The 0-2. That one is going to be sent a long way into foul ground. And this is the inning where, again, the Royals buzzing in the first couple, getting some base runners. And this is where they're starting to strike. Ward 0 for 1. Another foul ball. So that one's going to reach Kathleen Street from here. He's making connection. Just the timing has been off here for Ward. If he can time one correctly. The 0-2, chopper foul. And here comes Ryan Eakin out to collect that baseball. He's wearing number 51. I'm wondering what the significance of number 51 is. If that was maybe just the jersey that was available, or maybe there's something significant to it. I have to ask him that. The 0-2. That one misses on the outside. As that pitch count is getting ever so elevated here for Juan Benitez. The 1-2. That's strike three. A big punch out there as Matthew Ward goes down. Third strikeout of the ball game for Benitez, and that's a big second out. And the bases remain juiced here for Carson Burns. Missing on the outside for ball one. Again, Mascai over on third, Geraldo on second, Nadal on first. That misses inside. Good eye from Burns there. As mentioned, just his 5th appearance of the season. Played on Thursday in a pinch hit situation, went 0 for 1 against the Panthers. Also went 1 for 2 on Tuesday against Brantford. There's a swing and a miss. Again, Burns traded over to Guelph in 2024. That misses on the outside. Came over at the transaction deadline. We now call it the trade deadline. And obviously part of that 2024 squad that went to the intercounty final against his former team. The 3-1, missing inside, ball 4. That's going to walk in a run. Royals take a 2-1 lead on a bases loaded walk. With a hot hitter in Ashton Patterson coming up to the plates. He's got hits in 3 straight games. That's going to miss way on the outside. Not just hits in 3 straight, he's got hits in 10 of his last 11. A bunch of 1-fers, but that's still enough. That's going to miss inside. And there you're seeing the reason why for the way he's been able to just eye up this baseball. Not swinging at some of those 50-50 balls. The 2-0 is going to paint the inside edge. Very similar location as the last pitch, but looks like it just clipped the strike zone according to the home plate umpire. That's going to go off the glove. Mishandled by Odd. Throw to first. He's not going to make the throw. And the Royals have taken a 3-1 lead. Mishandled by Adam Odd. And the bullpen starting to see some activity for the Barrie Baycats as Juan Benitez is going to be the center of a mound visit here. As I would imagine that that's going to be an error charged on Adam Odd. He was not able to grip that baseball and make that throw over. Ashton Patterson will reach base. So coming into this inning, 28 pitches for Juan Benitez, and you can see it on the screen. He's at the 69 now. A very, very lengthy inning. As this inning will continue and up to the top of the order, and this is a very dangerous situation. Bases remain loaded, but there's 2 outs. Now, to imagine that conversation is just focus on the batter. That'll be strike 1 here on DeSantos, who's 0 for 2. And that in part and parcel is probably the reason. Focus on the batter. Yes, you got force outs all around the diamond. DeSantos just has not been able to get a hit on you so far here tonight. You get him out again, and you're out of a jam. That's going to be fouled back. Well, the situation now is Nadal on third, Burns on second, Patterson on first. Just a slight delay in the proceedings here, and that's the one thing, and I say it all the time here on the broadcast again, with the track around Hastings Stadium. The 0-2, strike 3. I'll get to that story in just a little bit on the other side as Juan Benitez gets out of a bases-loaded jam, but he gives up 3 here in the 4th, a long inning for the Barrie starter. As the Guelph Royals have taken a 3-1 lead here at Hastings Stadium. We'll be back on the other side. Well, a turn of events here in Guelph as the Guelph Royals have taken a 3-1 lead. 3 runs scored in that last inning. As it'll be the top of the order due up here for the Baycats, who are having some trouble getting some runs on Edgar Garcia. And again, just to kind of go back into my story about the Hastings Stadium dimensions, there is no fence that separates the outfield and the lawn chair area where fans can sit. So you do see some people trail onto that, that gravel area. That's still technically in play. So that's why sometimes when you do see delays here at Hastings and you see the home plate umpire looking down either the first base or the third base line, they're just telling people to get off the track. Because it's a safety thing. To Geraldo, over the first, in time. And Ejo's retired on the 4-3. So that's my message to you fans that do come into Hastings Stadium to watch a game. If you do come and you do bring a lawn chair and go down the baselines, stay on the other side of that gravel area. You don't want to delay the game. Here's Edgar Figueroa, who is 1 for 2. He's just going to watch that one go in for strike 1. You talk about Edgar Figueroa and that time with the Pirates organization I talked about. He basically played everywhere. As he drops down a bunt, it's going to stay in play. Garcia over to first and not able to get the out as Mascai comes off the bag. A great play by Edgar Garcia, who's down to one knee. He gets back up. It looked like it was on line, but Mascai, I think just for his own safety, had to make some sort of movement. And he came off the bag. And that will allow Edgar Figueroa to get on base with 1 out. So here is Francisco Hernandez. Throw over to first, not in time. It's Edgar Figueroa. Playing in Nicaragua, Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico, Brazil, Peru, Guatemala, El Salvador. That one's going to go across for a strike. Has experience with the Dominican national team. He's got a solid resume, does the outfielder for the Baycats. The 0-1 misses upstairs. And they are going to give a single to Figueroa, so make him 2 for 3. Ward setting up. That'll be fouled back. Of course, another gem here at Hastings Stadium. If you retrieve one of those baseballs, I believe you get free freezies. My favorite got to be orange, as the runner's going to go, and that's going to skip underneath Ward into second base easily as Figueroa. And he was already off, so I would give that a stolen base. He was nearly at second base before it skipped underneath Ward on that one. Count of 2-2 here on Hernandez. Ward sets up pretty much middle of the zone. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Edgar Garcia up to 6 strikeouts in the game. Now Macabroda drove in the lone run for the Baycats back in the first. It was an RBI double He's 1 for 2 in tonight's game. Doesn't feel like nighttime as we are on the other side of the summer solstice. Nearing 8:30 Eastern, and the lights are on, but barely noticeable, as that's going to go in for a strike. Garcia just taking a moment here against Macabrota and doesn't want to give up something over the heart of the plate here. That's going to miss at the knees. As we've talked about Macabrota, his prowess. All-star nods in 2025, both on the All-Star roster with the North team that went to Hamilton last year, but was also a second-team All-Star, was a Gold Glove winner. Former Minnesota Twin farmhand. Played in the Frontier League. There's a swing and a miss. And just a guy that he hits nukes, folks. When he makes a connection with the baseball, it's going over fences. Fans don't want to see it here, though. Here's the 1-2. Swing, and he got a piece of it. Fans start clapping again, stomping their feet, looking for the payoff. Here from Garcia. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Into the dirts. Macabrota, the lefty. He's got Adamad on deck. There was some slight movement in the bullpen for Barrie. No movement to be seen in Guelph so far. The 2-2. Upstairs. At 6-4, though, that's not upstairs by much on Macabrota. That is a big strike zone. Figueroa on second. Fans get loud once again, and it's like Macabrota takes time here for just a second. Three-two. Misses. Throw over to third. They're not going to attempt it, as getting over in time is Figueroa. That'll put runners on the corners as Figueroa went to third base on a hit and run. But Macabrota will walk. And with 2 outs, Adamad will come up with a runner on first and third. And you can see the hesitancy with Edgar Garcia. He was really trying to get Nolan Macabrota to swing at anything outside the strike zone. And he was working all quadrants. There's a swing, and got a piece of it, did Adamad. And you saw pitches at the knees. You saw pitches way upstairs. You saw some up and ins. Edgar Garcia working the strike zone as much as he possibly can and trying to work those quadrants outside the zone and try to get those chases. But again, you credit Macabrota on an at-bat that he had there. And just being able to just wait it out and get the walk. That misses. Odd walked back in the first. He struck out swinging in the third. The 31-year-old sees the 1-1 and swings through it for strike two. He's had some pretty good years. I mean, you go back to 2023, hitting .390 with 6 home runs in that season. Had a bit of a tail off in 2024 where he hit just a 185, but started to pick things up, and he's starting to pick it up here again in 26. Throw over, and they're going to catch him in a rundown. Throw over to third, throw to home, and he doesn't get him as Ward loses it in the glove. Over to third base goes Macabroda. A calamity there for the Royals as they had a runner and a rundown going from first to second, but they didn't want the runner to score. The throw was on line to Ward, but he just was not able to trap it. And the Baycats, with some heads-up base running, takes the attention away from the batter. And now, just like that, the tying run is 90 feet away. Everything went wrong for the Royals on that one. The 1-2 to Odd. Misses up and in. Now it's time for the Royals to settle in, and that he will. Edgar Garcia gets the punch out, his 7th strikeout of the game, but the Royals lead by just 1 on some heads-up base running by the Barrie Baycats. We'll be back on the other side.
Yeah, what do you recommend? I love this color right here.
So I'm gonna do like a navy and red lace.
I like to be subtly flashy.
My first glove was the Rawlins glove. This right here is kind of my baby. Took a year for her to break in. Rawlins guys hooked me up with this color. It was a new color that came out, and I was like, let me get it.
I always played with a Rawlins glove. That's all I know. It was branded in my brain to play with that.
I just fell in love that it was brand new, and when you get a pro glove, you don't have to put it in the microwave, you don't have to run it over with your car. All you gotta do is use it.
If I missed the ball with this glove, it went in the microwave. That was his punishment.
He's blaming the arrow and not the Indian.
Welcome back inside Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Mark Perry here in the booth. Sam O'Coin doing the producing here tonight on a beautiful Saturday night, a close contest. So just for those scoring at home, Figueroa will score, and they're going to charge it as an error on Carson Burns on the throw home. A couple of stolen bases in that as well as Macabroda does steal second base and moves on over to third after the attention was drawn towards Figueroa. Chopper, glove down, over to first in time. He got him just barely as Anthony Gilbert is retired for the first time tonight. And there's our friend Ryan Eakin, the assistant general manager, going to grab the bat. I really don't know how he's running in those things. Those Versace? I don't think so. I don't think they got the proper regulation spikes underneath them. Maybe that's why he can't grip in the grass. Well, here's Connor Morrow. First pitch he sees. Right on over to Adam Ott. Throw, and that's going to be way offline, and it'll go out of play. Connor Morrow will advance to second. As Odd sky-mailed that throw over to second base. And the errors continue here for the Barrie Baycats. I believe that's the third one. Actually, the second one in 2 innings that'll be charged to Adam Odd. And just like that, the Royals have a runner in scoring position. That misses on the outside edge for ball 1 here on Victor Mascai as some activity is starting up in the Baycats bullpen. The 1-0 missing on the outside edge. Mascai fouls that one back. Mascai 2 for 2, a pair of singles. He came in to score in the last inning as the Royals set 9 to the plate. The 2-1, that one misses on the outside. And Mascai up in the count here, and 88 pitches now, or 80 pitches, I should say, for Juan Benitez, as the arms are starting to get loose in the bullpen for the Baycats. Here comes the 3-1. That one's skied high. It's going deep all the way back towards the fence, and getting underneath it is Figueroa in right field. That'll advance the runner to third. A long fly out. And there's 2 away here in the 5th. And here is Miguel Geraldo. He's 1 for 2. Hit a single in the 4th. And now Morrow over on third base. Watches that one go across. Good eye by Geraldo as he was kind of in a crouch position there. He's having a conversation with the home plate umpire. Yeah, that was low. It was at the knees, so it didn't miss by much. The 1-0, that one misses way inside. Out-of-town scoreboard, Kitchener 5, Welland 1 in the bottom of the 8th. The 2-0, swing and a miss. Yes, the Panthers with a couple of runs in the 7th inning, including from former Baycat Malik Williams, as he just continues on a torrid pace. Now 13 straight games with a hit. That one misses down at the knees. The 1-1. Foul. Looks like it skipped on one of the Royals in the bullpen, or in the dugout. Benitez gets reset. That one skied high. Hull and Ejo chasing after it, and Hull will be the one to get underneath it. Mark that one down as an F7. And we are through 5 here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. The Royals with a 3-2 lead on the Barrie Baycats here on Royals TV. Oh, and both teams have 2 errors. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium in Guelph as Edgar Garcia comes in for his 6th inning of work. As Carson Barker will come up here, followed by Noah Hull and Wandy Cyprian. As Garcia is dealing, as that one sent high down the line. It's going to go into foul territory, and nobody's going to get to it. Uh, 67 pitches into this one for Edgar Garcia. Barker 0 for 2. He grounded out in the first. He struck out in the fourth. That one misses on the inside. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Barker. In his 9th game of the season, went 3 for 4 against Brantford. Skip sip right to Geraldo, over to first in time. And Barker retired on the 4-3 for the second time tonight. As Noah Hull will come up here. He is 1 for 2. The Mary University graduate will foul that one back, or that was actually going to go off the glove and go back. The delivery. That one misses in. It's the count of 2-0. So it's a 2-0 count. That's going to go in for a strike. Again, a good position here for the Guelph Royals as they have been able to handle one of the league's best here so far. And you talk about handling one of the league's best, it's now top 9 at the pond. That one misses upstairs for ball 4 on Noah Hull. The Kitchener Panthers are still up 5-1 on Welland in the top of the 9th. And I've been saying it, and I've been trumpeting it for the last several weeks. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. You know when they have the NFL and they have that competition, what is it, like a graph? I think it's something, or they kind of just match up to say, hey, this team beat this team, who beat this team, who beat this team, and it just goes through all 32 teams. I'm pretty sure we've done that a couple of times in the CBL. That just goes to show you the parity. Very competitive season. A lot of high-scoring affairs. As that one's going to get through the hole and into left field, a base hit here for Cyprian, and he is 3 for 3. Cyprian having himself a marvelous game. I mean, teams on average scoring about 6 runs a game. The ERA is a bit more inflated than we have seen in recent years. I mean, when Barrie has been, I think, less than a 3 ERA over the last couple of seasons. That's going to go right into the strike zone for strike 1 on Brandon Hernandez. You know, Barrie with a 4.48 ERA, that's 3rd in the CBL. Garcia gets the sign. Checks on over at second. That one's fouled back. First place when it comes to an ERA, well, the team ERA, London at a 3.81. And that just goes to show you, again, that is usually a little bit under 3, maybe around 2.50 at times for among the league's best. When the best team in the league, the best pitching staff in the league is putting up an ERA close to 4, that just tells you quite a bit. The 0-2 misses inside. Guelph, by comparison, a 6.27 ERA as a team. Edgar Garcia now up to 80 pitches. Hull on second, Cyprian on first. Ejo on deck. The 1-2, and that's going to go gloved by Mascai. Throw over to second. They'll get the runner at second base. They won't get Hernandez. So they will get the out, but the Baycats remain alive, and there's 2 away heading to the top of the order. And here comes Dino Ramel, his first mound visit of the night. As there was some activity in the bullpen for the Royals. As here's a meeting of the minds with runners on the corners. We'll see how much of a leash Edgar Garcia will have here. As it looked like it was Merrick Deska warming up, but I'm not 100% sure. And it looks like actually it's Glaven Pineda that's warming up. He's the one that was just acquired by the Royals. And he is indeed warming up as if he's going to come into this ball game at some point. So Glaven Pineda, stay tuned. The former LA Angels farmhand could be into this game in just a few moments, as that's a pop fly in shallow center field, glove down by Geraldo. Edgar Garcia is through 6 here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph, and he's got the lead to go along with it. 3-2, Royals lead as we head to the home half of the 6th inning.
Get ready, Chatham Cats. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham Cats, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Welcome back inside Hastings Stadium in Guelph to the home half of the 6th inning we go. And Juan Benitez comes out of the ball game, and he'll be replaced by Oscar Moretta. Moretta makes his 10th appearance of the season. He has been a regular coming out of the pen for the Baycats this season. So he'll take on Nadal, Ward, and Burns. First pitcher in the CBL to retire Yasiel Puig on strikes is Oscar Moretta. Last appearance came just 6 days ago in Kitchener. Went 2 innings. That one's going to go down the line, rocketed foul. In those 2 innings of work against Kitchener, gives up 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 4 hits, struck out 2, faced 12 batters in that game. That one's going to miss. And I do like what Josh Matlow has done with him as well. As you look at the lines game by game that Moretta has pitched in, an inning here, an inning there, goes 1 1/3 against Toronto on May 27th. There's a swing, and getting a piece of it is Davis Nadal. Well, starting to increase that load. The last three games rather, Moretta has gotten into 2 innings. So, just trying to increase the workload, increase the batters faced, take some load off some of the other pitchers in that bullpen. The 2-2, and that had some movement to it. It's like the slider got away from Moretta. Three-two is going to miss on the outside edge, and that'll be ball 4. Davis Nadal reaches base for the second time tonight.
First baseman, number 18, Victor Scott. Correction, center fielder, number 10, Matthew Ward.
As here is Matthew Ward. He's 0 for 2. Trying to drop the bunt down, and that one went away. Should mention in that game, Welland and Kitchener getting 5 innings of work from Jorge Mignetti, making his CBL debut just acquired in the last 24 hours. As Mignetti gets in 5 innings of work, strikes out 5, gives up a run on 2 hits. As that's going to be bunted foul. Again, we have seen a lot of work when it comes to transactions lately, and in particular, it's no secret that Kitchener is looking for that consistency with their pitching staff. Especially on that 6-game slide that they went on, their ERA basically doubles into double digits, and just trying to find some consistency. So a start like Mignetti gave them here tonight, it's not too bad to have. As the Royals and the Baycats getting some good starts tonight from Juan Benitez and Edgar Garcia. And speaking of new pitchers, probably going to see a new pitcher coming in for the Royals. The runner's going to go, throw into second, and he got him. Cyprian, a dart to second base, no chance for Davis Nadal. That one was on line, a heat-seeking missile to second base. As the signal was made to try to steal steal second, and Cyprian got up in a hurry, as that one's going to miss on the outside. The 3-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. As we take a look at the final line for Juan Benitez, strikes out 4 through 5 innings of work, gives up 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 6 hits. And actually, it will later be marked down as an earned run. So Benitez giving up 3 runs, all of them earned, on 6 hits. Chopper off the leg and in behind, foul. Carson Burns 0 for 1 with a walk. The 1-1, chopper down the line, and that's going to roll foul. Again, Moretta, quite the resume he has as well. Part of the Baltimore Orioles organization for 3 seasons, playing rookie ball in the Dominican Summer League, mainly as a relief pitcher. As that one skied high, deep into center field, and Ejo will camp underneath it to make the catch.
No hits, no runs, no left on base.
It's the bottom of the 6th. No hits, no runs, and no one left on base.
And I can give you confirmation that Kitchener has won. 5-1 the final score at the Pond tonight. The Kitchener Panthers defeat the Welland Jackfish as we are through to the 7th inning here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. We'll be back. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium in Guelph. We have a CBL debut. As coming in for Edgar Garcia is Glaven Pineda. Royals with a 3-2 lead here on the Barrie Baycats. And it won't be easy for Pineda to face the first 3 batters in his CBL career. He's got Figueroa, Francisco Hernandez, and Nolan McEnroe to deal with in a 1-run ball game. Tell you a little bit more about Pineda in just a moment. First pitch is skied high into left field, and getting underneath it is Ryan DeSantos. So Pineda comes in, again, as I touched on, he is a former farmhand of the Los Angeles Angels organization. Actually, way back and went in the day, was a free agent signing of the Angels back in 2014. Was actually signed as a shortstop. Played infield throughout his entire minor ball career. Made it to single A Burlington for the 2018 and 2019 campaigns. Actually converted to being a pitcher in 2022 when he was playing in the Frontier League with Lake Erie. That one misses on the inside. Now, played some winter ball this past winter in the Dominican Republic and Venezuela. He's played for a number of teams in both the Frontier League and the Mexican League teams. That one misses on the outside. A native of Azua, Dominican Republic. Fills the import quota as the Royals are back up to the limit of 8. The 2-0 is fouled back off the facing of the grandstand. I do like the hand-eye coordination of Nolan McEnroe as that ball was just dropping off the grandstand and down, trying to aim for the baseball and just kind of holding the bat out. Makes pure connection with it. The 2-1 misses inside. So again, with the win, the Kitchener Panthers, I should say. The NHL draft was this past weekend, folks, and it just wrapped up today, so I still have a little bit of hockey lingo in me. By the way, a number of Guelph Storm players getting picked up. Here comes the 3-1. That one misses inside, and obviously a Leaf fan being excited about Gavin McKenna getting picked first overall. Ryan Robrick, who was recently acquired by the Storm, he gets picked early in the second round by the Chicago Blackhawks. A lot of excitement. We're in the midst of the hockey offseason, baseball in full swing, and we're still talking a bit of hockey. But, as I digress here, Kitchener improving to 7-13 on the year. They move a half game back of Brantford, who are in 7th place in the CBL. Welland actually drops to 12-8. So they actually move a half game back of the London Majors. And in fact, if Guelph ends up winning this game, I believe Guelph actually leapfrogs Welland. Here comes the 1-0. That one missing. Throw into second base, and that one's way not in time. That was a very late throw by Matthew Ward as Francisco Hernandez took straight off to second base. Looks like he's all right as the baseball actually hits Hernandez as he was sliding in. And Ward is going to pay a visit to Pineda. And this is the intriguing thing, too. Again, Pineda just acquired by the Royals. In fact, the transaction ends up coming up on the 18th last week, but hasn't actually played a game for the Royals yet. So he's had a little bit of time to, get accustomed to the team, talk with Ward. Here's the stuff that I have to offer. That whole thing. The 2-0, swing and a miss by Macabrota for strike one. So again, Welland down to 12-8 on the year. Guelph with a win would be at 11-7. So if my math is right, a game separated the two teams coming into today's proceedings. Here comes the 2-1, swing and a miss. As again, Guelph with a win would move 2.5 back of London, who are in top spot. So in fact, yeah, they would be tied. They would both be 2.5 back. The 2-2 misses upstairs. You see, this is why I talk things out. As much as I love stats and baseball has a lot of them, it's the reason why I'm a journalist. Math, not exactly my forte, although I did score a 75 in grade 11 math. It's that calculus that got me. Pineda steps off as Francisco Hernandez goes right back into second base. And it's a full moon tonight, or at least as close as you can get to a full moon. We are officially pretty much under the lights here at Hastings Stadium now. Swing and a miss, strike three. First CBL strikeout for Pineda is of the swinging strikeout variety. Being told in that game, Kitchener-Welland actually had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th inning, but a double play was what finished it off. but I think you guys are sick of me talking about Kitchener and Welland. It's kind of like tuning into an NLL broadcast in Toronto and everybody's talking about Buffalo. That one's going to skip on to Gilbert. Over to first, and the signal made in time, and Pineda gets out of the inning. The 6-3 putout puts us into stretch time here at Hastings Stadium. The Guelph Royals with a 3-2 lead here on Barrie. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Oscar Moretta remains in the ballgame here for the Barrie Baycats. A 3-2 lead for the home side. And again, this is why math wasn't my forte. I'm being told, again, 2.5 back with a win tonight. But Guelph would actually leapfrog Welland based on the winning percentage. So Guelph with something on the line here where they could move into third place with a win. Although with Barrie, they come back and win this one, they'll be tied for first with the London Majors. They're only a half game back. London, of course, will be home to Hamilton tomorrow afternoon. I get to travel down the 401 to call that one at Labatt Park. I talked about the NHL draft. Dylan Baker doing yeoman's work with the CHL this summer, as he is doing some continuing coverage with the CHL all weekend long. He's unavailable. They call some schmuck from Guelph to come and call the game and fill his place. The 2-0 misses upstairs. As I'll have the action at 4:05 in the Forest City. Guelph will be in Brantford at 2 o'clock. Chatham will be in Toronto at 2. That one clips the inside edge for strike one. Just 3 games in the CBL tomorrow afternoon. Welland and Kitchener will have a rematch in Kitchener on Monday. The 3-1, that one misses downstairs, and Ashton Patterson reaches base for the second time tonight. And back to the top of the order we go. 4th plate appearance of the night for Ryan DeSantos. And he has been struggling. Pair of strikeouts and a flyout on the night for him. That'll be strike one. As Ryan Eakin pops into our screen once again. Yeah, the work boots are starting to grow on me. I might have to ask him where he actually got them. The 0-1 trying to drop the bunt down, but pulling back was DeSantos. Patterson on first. DeSantos pulls back and And you can see Adam Odd basically halfway to home plate. He's been really playing that bunt. And Odd remains in the grass. He is ready to just jump on this ball. Drops the bunt down. Grabbed there by Odd. Throw over to first in time. Tailor-made defense by the Baycats on the bunt as Patterson advances over to second. And they are just going to award Gilbert first base. Not even going to try. And that's probably a smart move by the Baycats with how well Gilbert has hit.
Now batting, designated hitter number 6, Connor Morrow.
So runners on first and second here for Connor Morrow. Anthony Gilbert reaches on the intentional walk. Morrow reaching base on the error back in the 5th. That was his last time up. Some more activity in the Royals bullpen. As you add an arm like Pineda, you have such depth in the pen as that one set sky high. Ejo tracking it, getting over to make the catch is Hull though, and there's 2 away. Ejo went a long way, but the left fielder comes over, has a beat on it, and makes the catch.
Our first baseman, number 18, Victor Mascai.
As Mascai will come up, he's 2 for 3, a pair of singles. That one goes right in there for a strike. Oscar Moretta looking to get out of this inning unscathed. It's only a 3-2 ball game. This has been a fantastic game, as the pitchers have been the stars of this one. Again, Benitez going 5 innings. Garcia goes 6 and strikes out 7. And already Moretta 1 pitch away from getting out of this. Gets the sign from Cyprian. Here comes the 0-2. And that one, the appeal, they don't get it. And that'll be ball number 1. He'll try again. The 1-2, swing and a miss. He got him. Oscar Moretta looks to the heavens and happy with his performance as he strands a pair. We're through 7, the Royals with a 3-2 lead on the Barrie Baycats. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Glaven Pineda just goes the one inning in his CBL debut and makes way for Andrew Case.
Designated hitter, Carson, number 32, Carson.
As Carson Barker, Noah Hull, and Wandy Cyprian due up for the Baycats. And what has been a dandy of a Saturday night affair. Holds off on the swing, but it goes across anyway for strike number 1. Case into his 7th appearance of the season. There's a swing and a miss. But in saying that, his first appearance in 2 weeks, hasn't pitched since June 13th. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and Barker is retired.
Left fielder, number 28, Noah.
As Noah Hull will step in here, he is 1 for 2 with a walk. Now, Case actually got the win in that June 13th game against Kitchener. That was a game here at Hastings Stadium where the Royals had a 6-3 deficit to overcome. They scored 4 runs in the 7th. And the Royals held on for the win. There's a swing and a miss. The 1-1. That one misses downstairs. And interesting to note, I haven't actually seen the umpires do the glove checks for any of the pitchers coming into tonight's ballgame. Hull sends a towering shot into right center. All the way back, and on the run is Davis Nadal. That one went 390 feet, but here at Hastings Stadium, that one stays in the ballpark.
Center fielder, number 21, Wandy Cyprian.
That's gone in about 5 different ballparks in this league. That was a nuke from Noah Hull. But 2 down here in the 8th. As that one's going to be fouled back by Cyprian. Well, I mentioned the glove checks because we have been seeing it with regularity in some games, especially over the last week. The 0-1. That one sent a mile high. DeSantos chasing after it, and he will make the catch. As Ward is down, the inning is over. Ward, I think he may have caught a bit of the pat on the backswing. But it looks like he's just going to walk it off. As we are heading to break, the Royals with a 3-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
To be the best, you've got to bring performance from every second. The game is getting faster every season. So Rawlings made a time machine to help you keep up. Introducing the all-new Velo ACP. It's light, it's balanced, so you can pick your pitch and drive the ball with maximum exit velocity. The game's gotten faster. Your bat has too.
Welcome back to Hastings Stadium in Guelph. The Royals with a 3-2 lead here on the Barrie Baycats. And it will be Brady Encarnacion coming in for the Barrie Baycats. His 9th appearance of the season. Last appearance coming just 48 hours ago against Brantford. Goes 2 innings in that one. As he takes a pitch outside, does Miguel Geraldo. That one misses. No, it caught the outside of the edge. Evens the count at 1-1. Geraldo 1 for 3. That one goes in there for a strike. That had a whole lot of movement from Encarnacion. The 25-year-old out of the Dominican. Regularly goes 2 innings. Curious to see if the Baycats will try to stretch him out for 2 in this one, as that one's a liner right over to Macabroda, and he will get in there in time. The 3 unassisted for out number 1. Well, Encarnacion, again, in that game against Brantford, goes the 2 innings, faces 10 batters, doesn't give up a run, gives up the 2 hits, strikes out 1. Not really a strikeout pitcher as of late. Was picking up the Ks like candy in the first 3 appearances he made. Trying to drop the bunt there was Nadal. Was unsuccessful there as Hod comes in from his spot at third base. I mean, you go back to that game on May 21st against Welland. Encarnacion faces 8 batters. He struck out 5 of them. So he's got that potential. He sets up the 0-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. And the Royals, you think about game times. Had a rain delay against Kitchener on Thursday. Didn't get started until about 7:30 as that one misses high and away. Game was still done by about 10 o'clock. It's about a 2.5-hour game. Imagine if the pitch clock comes in. That one right on over to Francisco. Over to first in time, and they'll get the outs. Again, no word on when the pitch clock will come in. We have, and I'm not spilling any secrets by saying it because we've talked about this ad nauseum over the last few weeks and even up to the beginning of the season, where Commissioner Ted Kellnans has gone on record and said he's not afraid of putting the pitch clock in for all 9 teams in the mid part of the season. It's a matter of getting the pitch clock in, as that's going to go in for strike 1 on Matthew Ward, who's 0 for 3. The pitch clock, once they're ready and installed in all 9 ballparks, that one's going to miss inside. Once they're ready to go, I believe they'll just say, hey, as of this date, we're going to do the pitch clock. And he said he's not afraid of doing that midway through the season. So again, be on the lookout for that, as I'd imagine these 3.5-hour games, once that's in play, we'll see. This ball is in play. Skips on over to Macabroda. Coming over is Encarnacion to make the play on the 3-1 putout. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. We are through 8 here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. To the 9th we go. 1-run ball game. The Royals looking to close it out. Welcome back to Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Top of the 9th. As Kevin Escorcia will come in for the save situation. Trying to drop the bunt there was Hernandez. It's going to be Brandon Hernandez, Kenise Ejo, and Edgar Figueroa that are due up for the Baycats. Escorcia with 1 save on his ledger. Chopper hopped on by Geraldo over to first in time. And that is 1 down here in the 9th. So here is Kenise Ejo. He's 0 for 4. That one misses under the knees. Ejo striking out twice earlier on in today's ball game. He has also grounded out and flown out. The 1-0 way inside. Escorcia setting up the 2-0. That one's going to go across for a strike. Got that save against Kitchener back on the 13th. There's also 3 wins on his ledger. He's 3-0 on the season. 6.39 ERA. That'll go across for a strike. Fans start to get loud, looking for the strikeout here. The former Ottawa Titan deals, swings and misses, strike 3. 2 down here in the 9th. And Edgar Figueroa is the last hope for the Baycats. And Figueroa has gotten on base with regularity here tonight. A pair of singles. Another one keeps this game alive. And it's lefty on lefty. That'll go across for a strike. Escorcia eyeing it down. The 0-1 swings and misses. Down to the final strike. As the fans start to get loud. The payoff. Swing, and he gets a piece of it. Goes down the line, but it's just foul. As we will try again to wrap this one up. Another one chopped at. Figueroa stays alive. Another opportunity to wrap this one up. Escorcia gets the sign. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. And the Royals win it. Escorcia, his second save of the season, as the Royals are 2-0 against Barrie this year. A 7-2 win earlier on this season, and they edged them out here 3-2. The final score. The Royals improve to 11-7 and skip up to third place in the CBL standings. They are actually tied with Welland, but they get the tiebreaker due to winning percentage. Well, the Barrie Baycats dropped to 13-6 on the year. And what a night it was. A pitcher's duel between Edgar Garcia and Juan Benitez. A very low-scoring affair in this one. Let's take a look around the final statistics. Edgar Figueroa goes 2 for 5 on the night, but the big hitter for Barrie was Wandy Cyprian. He goes 3 for 4 on the evening in the loss for Barrie. For the Guelph Royals, meantime, Anthony Gilbert continues on his hot streak. He went 2 for 3 on the night. Just 6 hits for the Guelph Royals all night long. But that is all they needed in this one, as a combined 14 hits between the two teams just tells you all you need to know about how this game went. The pitching line, Edgar Garcia gets the win. He gives up a couple of runs on 8 hits, strikes out 7 in 6 innings of work. Pineda making his CBL debut. Andrew Case comes in. Kevin Escorcia gets the save. The final 3 innings, perfect baseball, or near perfect baseball. Pineda does give up the 1 walk, but that was it through the final 3 innings of play, as the Guelph Royals finish it off against the Barrie Baycats. Edgar Garcia, the winning pitcher. Juan Benitez, the losing pitcher. He goes 5 innings and gives up 3 runs. Oscar Moretta and Brady Encarnacion also making appearances for the Baycats. Let's take a look quickly at the next 5 games for the Royals. They have some road work to do, as they will be in Brantford tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, and then on the road in Kitchener for Canada Day, a 2:05 first pitch, and then into Barrie, a rematch between these two teams next Thursday at Athletic Culture Stadium before Toronto comes to town on July 4th. That's the next home game for the Guelph Royals, and then they'll also host the Welland Jackfish at 7:05. So once again, the final score here, the Guelph Royals 3, the Barrie Baycats 2. We'll see you back here on July 4th when the Toronto Maple Leafs come to town. My name is Mark Perry, saying so long from Hastings Stadium. Good night.